All right, we head back now to the U.S. where our reporter Ziyanda Ngobo is on the ground in Georgia. She is, of course, at the Metropolitan Library, seeing as Americans cast their vote in what is a swing state. It is now almost lunchtime that side, and I imagine things picking up quite a bit of speed, Ziyanda.
Absolutely, Naledi, and where I'm standing, there's quite a vibe. It's just a few meters away from the voting station where there's some music. There's a non-partisan organization called Georgia Stand Up. It's encouraging people to come out to vote. Behind me, there's a sign that says, "Honky, we voted." Of course, voter apathy, also another issue that the U.S. election has had to grapple with, much like we had to back home. So let me bring in the founder and CEO of Georgia Stand Up to tell us about why it's important to be standing here at the traffic lights, trying to encourage people to vote.
So today is the last day to vote. We had about 30 days of voting, and today is the last day. We see this as voting season, and it's our job to save democracy once again. Black women in the South once again have to save democracy by making sure our people get out to vote. So today, we are resisting. We're resisting voter suppression by making sure that there's a whole party at the polls. We have been out knocking on doors, texting people, calling people. We have offices all over the state. We have young people who are celebrating voting for the first time. We're making history because we know that what happens here in the U.S. South will affect the entire world, and definitely South Africa.
I mean, so far from what I've noticed, the demographic, it seems to be old. Where are the young people besides the ones that are here holding your board?
So a lot of young people have voted already because we wanted them to come out for early voting. So we really targeted them to come out and vote early. So to me, I look at this as the last opportunity to vote if you haven't already voted. We hope that people have turned in their absentee ballots. We hope that people have gone to events and got educated. But we also hope that they've already voted. And so right now we're having a celebration and warming up for the celebration for the rest of the day.
And of course, the results are expected to be announced later tonight for Atlanta. But let's talk about the process. You're a non-partisan organization. Are you satisfied with the process so far? Everybody's looking at Georgia and what's going to happen here, given what's happened in 2016 and 2020.
Yeah, so the hands, as I say, the hands that, what I would say, the hands that will pick a president are the descendants of slaves that picked cotton here in Georgia. And so this is a momentous history, a historic occasion. We are here, we are celebrating because we know that our vote is so important, they're trying to suppress it. And if it wasn't so important, they didn't try to kill us to get it. So we are here to say that we're going to live, that we're going to vote our values, that women are going to come out, that young people are going to come out, and once again, we're going to save democracy. We looked at Black women 18 to 85, and we focused on them because we know if Black women understand how important it is, they will make sure their children and their children's children come out to vote. It's a community love fest today. We're trying to make sure that we honor our ancestors by doing whatever it takes to get the vote out because we worked too hard for it. They died for it. And it's our job to make sure that we preserve this democracy in this country.
You're a non-partisan organization, but you seem to have a very clear mandate. What does Georgia Stand Up do in particular? You've just said now you've targeted women between 18 and 85, but beyond that, what else is your scope?
Yeah, so we're a 20-year-old organization. We're a think and act tank for working communities. We organize, we strategize, we mobilize for our community. We have a workforce development program. We do labor rights, we do community rights. We also do really a lot of youth organizing, because I'm part of that last generation of civil rights leaders that seed into the next generation. My first campaign was here in the Atlanta University Center, and we had a relationship with South Africa to try to get Nelson Mandela out of jail. So my very first organizing was Students United Against Apartheid. And so for me to be here 40 years later and still working on the front line, to me it warms my heart. I just left a student march to see those students that used to be me come out and march for their democracy and vote for the first time was just amazing. So I think part of what we have to do is use our power, use the organizations that we have to keep organizing, strategizing, and pulling people out. So we're an organization that's 365 days, not just during an election. Because part of what we do is make sure people understand their power. Because the people actually have the power. If they understand how much power they have, they know that not only do they decide presidents, they decide the mayor and all of the other candidates down the ballot. And it's really about the people who will elect, will actually hold that power for you. So they're supposed to do what you want them to do as a people. So we encourage our people and train our people to hold their elected officials accountable. Don't just vote for them, vote for them. But then after you vote, go to city council, go to the mayor's office, make sure you're holding them accountable and make sure that they're voting how you want them to vote.
All right, so Shirley Scott there. She is the CEO of Georgia Stand Up. There are people hooting. Of course, there's a board that says honk if you have voted. So this is the energy right now outside the Metropolitan Library, one of the voting stations here today. It's a touch before lunchtime here, and of course, voting stations closing at 8 o'clock today. So far, so good. So we'll leave it here for now in Georgia, Atlanta. Let's take a quick break, but more rolling coverage in the U.S. election just after this.